Hello, my name is Jason Perkins, and I'd like to welcome you to another episode in my Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. I'm an attorney that specializes in Georgia workers' compensation law, and in this series, I attempt to provide you with some helpful information about the rules of Georgia workers' compensation and the benefits available to you under that law. Today, I'd like to talk with you about back injuries that are covered by Georgia workers' compensation. But before we jump into that, be sure and be on the lookout for the next episode in this series about the Form WC-6 wage statement, which is a document that explains to you how your employer calculated your average weekly wage and your resulting weekly workers' compensation benefit. Now, let's talk about back injuries covered by Georgia workers' compensation. Back injuries at work can occur many different ways. Often, I talk to people who've injured their back lifting or bending over at work, or maybe they've slipped and fell, or they had something fall on them. And as a result of that, they suffered a back injury. They may have gone to the emergency room, they may have had x-rays, an MRI, may have treated with an orthopedic doctor. So the question is, to what extent does workers' compensation cover back injuries? The basic answer is that it covers them just like any other injury. You might suffer a back sprain or strain, you might have a herniated disc as a result of a back injury, you might fracture one of your vertebrae. Those back injuries are all covered. You are entitled to wage loss benefits called temporary total disability. If you can't work as a result of that back injury, you're entitled to the medical treatment and testing that you need to help you recover from that back injury. You're also entitled to permanent partial disability benefits if you end up with some permanent impairment as a result of that back injury. The big issue that often comes up in back injury cases is to what extent the condition from which you are suffering is a result of the injury that you suffered at work, or is it a result of some pre-existing condition that was already there that was either causing you problems or may not have been causing you problems yet. This is something that insurance companies often like to argue about. Many people who suffer back injuries end up having an MRI and being diagnosed with degenerative disc disease or herniated or bulging disc or pinched nerve. In those situations, the MRI will often show some sort of degenerative type condition that the insurance company will claim is a result of you being older and something that's happened to you over time and that pre-existed your injury at work. However, often you weren't having any problems with that condition until you had that injury at work. So the issue of whether your back condition is from what you did at work or it pre-existed it is often an issue that comes up in back injury cases. You may want to reference one of my other recent videos in the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series about aggravations of pre-existing conditions to have a look at how an aggravation of pre-existing condition is treated and the fact that workers' comp has to cover you even if you had a pre-existing condition as long as you can prove it was aggravated. Now, if you did not have a pre-existing condition, you had a back condition that wasn't bothering you before and only bothered you after the injury, then you may actually be able to prove that you had a actual new injury and not an aggravation of pre-existing condition. And there's advantages to doing that as well. I hope you found this information about back injuries under Georgia workers' compensation law helpful. If you have, please let me know by giving this video a thumbs up or liking it. Now, if you want more information about Georgia workers' compensation benefits and the rules of Georgia workers' compensation, you can visit our Perkins Studdard YouTube channel. All the videos from the Georgia workers' compensation video series are available there. And you can also subscribe on that channel to be notified of future videos in this series as they come out. You can also visit our website, www.perkinslawtalk.com, and read our blog there. We have written articles about Georgia workers' compensation law. If you'd like to set up a free consultation with me to get some specific questions answered, you can do that on our website as well by completing and submitting the free consultation request form, or you can set one up by calling the phone number at the bottom of the screen and we'll get one scheduled for you. Thanks for watching this video today, and I wish you the best of luck as you recover from your injury.